Hello, and welcome to Servitization Shorts, discussions in all things as a service. I'm your host, Patrick McGowan, founder and CEO of the Service Design Group, and I'm joined today by Ron Giuntini.
I've been involved in this space for 35 years, running a business unit in the aerospace business for 10 years. Then for years, I worked as a consultant working with original equipment manufacturers. What I've developed over the years is an expertise in the financial aspects of advanced services. If you can't sell advanced services effectively to the CFO, it's dead on arrival. Most people in the whole services area, they're in the marketing areas, they're maybe in the pricing, all that, and they throw out, well, this is a great value proposition, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't have costs, if you don't know what your profit's going to be, you're never going to get a program like advanced services started in your organization. Well, advanced services has basically 6 elements that combined will be the primary attributes of advanced services. One is a fee that's usage-based. Then their requirement of an oversight that's robust. Then the term is always going to be longer than 1 year. By definition, an advanced service is reflected on the balance sheet as a long-term asset and then also as a long-term liability. You also have solutions that are all customized, tailored. You have the effectiveness of what you're delivering is assured, contractually assured. And then the last one is that there's always going to be amendments throughout the life because businesses change and they have to have flexibility. There's also 4 levels of advanced services. One is the obligor will provide you with indirect services. Then the next one is direct resources, mostly parts and labor, where you assure delivery, but the effectiveness of the processes that those direct resources are employed are the risks of the buyer. And the third area is where you provide all the resources and complete a particular process. And the last one is that there are 3 attributes of a machine. One is capabilities, one's operability, and what's employability. And you, as the obligor, take on the responsibility of one or more of those 3 attributes.
So when you go down a path with a client that says, hey, Ron, I want to do advanced services, do you start with a hard-nosed financial view or do you get started somewhere else?
Running a business unit with a large OEM, you always have to present all your ideas to the CFO. And they're not that concerned that you're precise. What they're concerned about is that you've gone through the logic of the risks. I always have these discussions, especially CMOs, about value proposition. But anyone can give you value and lose your shirt. You have to know what your costs are. Most annual costs to maintain, restore, and improve a particular subsystem of a machine runs anywhere to about 1 to 5% of its values. I use that as a stake in the ground. We believe our costs are around here. We will do better as we get more data.
What's the most attractive strategic opportunity? Is it the recurring revenue promise? Is it, you mentioned higher margins?
Well, I call it's the install base, stupid. There's OEMs who sell directly to the end users. And there are OEMs who have channels. When they sell directly to their customers, they have a better feel for what their customer is doing because they're in constant contact with it. Versus distributors, the only time they hear from the distributors if there's real problem. Yeah, but you have to put that into a model that can generate an income statement, can generate what ifs. And the whole purpose of the aftermarket is to assure the effectiveness, the capabilities, the operability, and the employability of the machine. But it's changing. Customers are demanding more. Private equity firms are pushing profitable recurring revenue. So aftermarkets is really transaction-based. Advanced services is where you make a commitment in regards to the effectiveness of the solution that you're delivering.
It's that plus the recurring profitable growth for those that are bold enough or willing to say, let's go disrupt ourselves for a little bit so we can get there.
Usually it has to come from leadership who wants to take that risk. They're looking at what's going to happen to my balance sheet. They're looking at stock price. They're looking at compensation. But if you don't develop a robust business model on the financial side, on the customer side, you're going to bleed to death. Because when you think of long-term, 3 to 5 years, if you cost incorrectly, you got a fixed fee, right? And your costs are higher than your fixed fee. So the difference is loss. But then the other part is, well, we can handle that. We'll just increase our price so we mitigate our risk. Then that's not a value proposition. Yeah, it covers your risk, but the customer's going, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to pay for this.